Hi,
We're the Mouse Couple.
and we just got back from our cruise aboard the Disney Treasure, so it is time for our haul and review of our time on board. So, let's get started. So overall, we didn't really get a ton of stuff. It seems like a lot now that it's in front of us.
I know, looking at everything in front of us, I'm like, did we get that much stuff? But we didn't buy that much.
True.
I guess that's how we should start this convo.
True.
We didn't spend too much monies.
Yeah. So
on top of what was already spent, I should say.
Very true. Starting with the haul and the stuff that was quote-unquote free, even though it's kind of just provided by Disney, is our lanyards. So for the Treasure, it was a specific inaugural sailing lanyard. We are both gold members now, so we both got the gold lanyard, which was fun. I was very excited to see the inaugural specific lanyard for it. So that was always fun. And then
in the same theme.
Yes, same theme, waiting for us in the room, which we already showed this stuff, but the towel holder bands, specific for the inaugural sailing, and the larger kind of backpack adjacent tote bag for the inaugural, and those two things together was the silver gift. And then the gift for gold members was the inaugural wet dry bag, which I do love these bags. They came in handy for us with shoes and swimsuits, so always handy to have these around.
I think the design on the bag is really cool. Of the main silver bag. This is great. This is the usual. It seems maybe bigger. We'd have to hold it up against one of our other ones. But if that bag zipped, it would be perfect.
Yes, that's the only negative with that one, is it's a cinch top rather than a zip top. But yeah.
But I think it's really cool. I think it's interesting and different and more exciting than a tote bag, probably.
True. Nice to have that since we have so many tote bags already. But and then the last thing waiting for us in the room that was a freebie was the Pirate Night bandanas. Yes. So again, they have changed the design in recent years. I do think this design is cute to have Minnie Mouse.
They're also larger.
And Mickey Mouse. True.
They're more appropriately sized for adult heads as well. Because back in 2022 on my first cruise, made for children's heads, where they're like, oh, there's bandanas in the room. And it's like, okay, not sure how we're going to make this work.
Because I have a big head. The old style did not fit me, but these ones do.
Because you're so smart. He's got a big brain.
At least these ones fit me.
Yes.
So much better for an adult head. But that was all the free stuff for the room. We also got some DVC stuff.
Yes, we're a DVC family. So, of course, lanyards. We had a magnet on the door.
Oh, I didn't grab that.
There was a magnet on the door, but we also got lanyards. We got more magnets, which is membership magic. That hashtag, that magical feeling. So, this one was upside down. That's exciting. And we got luggage tags. Always nice to have. The magic band sliders that they've done recently for your, well, not magic bands.
Disney bands.
Your Disney bands. We don't use those typically. Not
on the cruise.
So, but we just said, okay, thank you. And then the newest thing for us that we hadn't seen before was the straws. The packable straws were different. And they told us that there is the little cleaning wand inside the straw.
Yeah.
So make sure that you remove it before using.
It's also a metal straw that's like telescoping too, so it kind of folds into itself.
And it's a keychain, so you can hook it on and take it as you go. And then, last but not least, more DVC hats.
Yes.
So, we're getting a collection now of hats.
Yes.
I opened my mouth and said, oh, I wish they'd do hats again. Because they didn't do hats when I started cruising. And now, lots of hats.
Yes.
But we're always excited to go by the DVC desk and see what they have. And a lot of nice folks on board, too, working at the DVC desks,
Yes.
too. So
They're always so sweet.
fun to say hi every day.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. If you're a DVC member, if you didn't know, and you go on a cruise, stop by the DVC desk every day for a little free gift. Ooh. That is probably going to be something that we just showed you.
Right. We also did several trivias while on board, but we only won one of them.
Yes.
But it was the important one.
It was the Muppets trivia.
Yes.
And we got the ship medals,
Yes.
which we didn't have this one before because it typically is used for not Disney related trivia.
Right. It's usually like the Star Wars or the Marvel ones, and anything, I think maybe the sports one as well, maybe the music.
Like 70s music trivia.
But anything that's not like Pixar or Disney animation or Disney movies, specific ones, those are always characters. So.
And they did offer to give us Mickey medals if we would prefer that. And we were like, that's okay. We'll take the boat.
Yeah. And then as far as stuff that we bought while on board, there were two things I had my eye on. One thing was, of course, if you've been watching us for a while, you know that I like my pins. So I had to get a treasure pin. So I got a pin for the inaugural sailing with Aladdin and Jasmine on the carpet, since that is the statue. And it says inaugural and Disney treasure. This was $19.99. And with the 10% off, because I am the gold member, but you also get 10% off if you are a Disney Visa card holder. And I think DVC is the same.
It does not stack, though.
Yeah, it does not stack.
That'd be great.
Yes.
But it does not stack.
But this was $17.99 after the discount. So not too bad. I have noticed that the pins on Disney Cruise have gone up in price. So the days of the $10 pins seem to be no more.
Darn.
The other thing that I had my eye on for quite a while, and I've checked every single sailing since the honeymoon, was this hat. So I wanted a Nike Dry Fit Disney Cruise Line hat just like this, but for the longest time could only find white or black. But I wanted the navy one. So they had this one on board and was very excited to see it.
That'll look good with the shirt you have on right now.
This is true. This one was $39.99. So after the discount, it was $35.99. So I think that was the same price as the Nike Dry Fit Mickey hats that they have in Walt Disney World, but you don't pay tax on the ship, so that's always nice.
As long as you are not in port. But
the shops aren't open.
Yes, the shops aren't open in port, but like if you get a beverage, that's an additional cost. There will be tax if you're stopped in port, or
True.
like a spa service. So on merchandise, no tax as long as you're not in a port.
Yeah,
But other stuff, keep that in mind.
very true. And then there was one more thing that we purchased in the shop.
Well, I didn't.
You didn't, but it was for you.
Yes. Robbie got me a necklace.
Yes. This was a relatively new collection.
Kendra Scott. It comes with the pretty bag. I also asked for a pouch to help make sure it did not tarnish. I'm getting it out. Should have done this in advance.
But what was weird was on display they had one that was like multicolor, but asked about it because you saw this one. But yeah,
But you said there was one on display.
one on display that was very colorful,
It was gold, and I'm a silver toned girl.
and all the gems were colors.
And it was multicolored. And I thought that was very fun, but not quite as adult. Even though Kendra Scott price point is more of an adult jewelry line, but surprise, surprise, they had it in silver. And surprise, surprise, I said, oh, maybe I should wear a necklace tonight. And Robbie just whipped out the necklace and said, here. And I said, what?
Indeed.
And he said, happy anniversary. And I said, thank you.
I snuck away to get it.
Yes. I don't know what I was doing. Something.
I don't know. But that one was $80. After the 10% discount was $72, which is the same price. The original price is the same price as it is available online. So again, on the ship, you're getting a great deal because no tax.
Right. And the discount works.
Right.
So those two things together, I think that's why they talk about buying fancy jewelry and expensive things on board because you don't have to pay tax.
Tax and the big ticket items adds up real quick. Last thing that we kind of got on board that kind of paid for was at the Haunted Mansion parlor. Mm-hmm. We got, with our check, commemorative little coasters for the Haunted Mansion parlor. They are the same coaster. And then with your drink, the death certificate that came with the margarita. Mm-hmm. So fun, cute little keepsake. But yeah. And
we had a lot of fun in there, but we'll talk about that later.
Yes. On our excursion, mm-hmm. we did not purchase this. We purchased the excursion, obviously, and we'll get to that later as well. But part of the excursion was rum punch. And
once you were done snorkeling.
I happened to ask the bartender, one of the 3 crew members on board, or 4 crew members, one of the 4 on board, what kind of rum they were using to see if we could get it in port, just as a little keepsake to take home. And he just reached down and handed me a bottle and said, here, just take it. So we got a bottle of rum from the Virgin Islands. It is Cardo is the brand. I couldn't find it when I was trying to search for it online, so it must be very tiny.
Well, when we got it home, we put it under a light, and you can see that there's a sticker over it that says Maggins Bay brand rum. So we're guessing it's also sold under that title.
But what I noticed too, which is weird, the Maggins Bay one says dark rum, where this is gold rum. So I don't think it is the same, but Cardo Virgin Islands rum, the guy told us that it's distilled in St. John and then it is bottled in New Jersey. Mm-hmm.
So it went all the way from St. John
to New Jersey back to St.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Yes.
But it was pretty good rum in the rum punch, so I'm excited to open that up and try it ourselves.
Whether it's Cardo or Maggins Bay.
Whatever's in the bottle, mystery bottle.
We're excited.
Yes.
But also along the way, we, throughout the cruise, saw so many really nice people.
Yes. And
got really sweet pixie dust gifts as well. Because we had our fish extender out, and some things were just handed to us in a really nice way. Mm-hmm. But in our fish extender, one family group had, it looks a little crazy right now, but like a sticker page where you can put Marie's eyes and face on her, and little paw print stickers, and a fancy pen. This also came with candy that is not around anymore.
Yes.
But just similar things, lots of sweet gifts in the fish extender. Mm-hmm. And on the last night, we stood by Andrea and her husband. They were on their honeymoon celebration. Mm-hmm. But she was giving out coasters that she made. Yeah. So a little Minnie Mouse, little Mickey Mouse.
And we had seen her throughout the sailing too, just knitting.
Or crocheting. But she's on Ravelry. Robbie can put a Ravelry username if you're a crafter who wants to follow along with Andrea. So thank you for that. And we also, let me preface this by saying that we are teeny tiny fish in a massive pond.
Yes.
When it comes to people who post videos online about Disney. But to our surprise, one of our followers was sailing with us and said hi and recognized us. So their sweet family gave us a little Mickey Mouse duck. So thank you to the Hilbin family.
Yes, it was very nice meeting you and talking with you.
So if you do see us, come say hi.
Yes, please.
So, and we always like to meet new people. And that was one thing on this cruise. So many nice people.
Yes, this was a good transition into the review itself because there were sweet people throughout.
That was maybe the highlight
Yeah.
of the cruise. Just so many nice people, excited to be sailing, having fun with family, and just kind and talkative. I think this is the most talkative group that we've ever run into on a sailing.
By far. Yeah, the just willingness people just to chat, strike up a conversation in line, whether it's like, what did you guys do today? Or have you been on other sailings before? What other ships you've been on? All that kind of stuff. Which kind of leads into the consensus that we have heard is everybody that was asking us about comparing to other ships, it seems like the Treasure was nobody's favorite that we talked to.
In the people who we talked to specifically, yes. I know that there were people who absolutely loved it.
Yes.
And there's a lot that we really, really loved.
Mm-hmm.
There's also things that we definitely agree with from the folks that we talked to about things. And there were some things that we knew going in the door that we weren't going to like. We knew that the 2 elevators as opposed to 3 on the older ships that's always hard.
Yeah.
It makes navigating and getting around a lot more difficult. Not impossible, you're totally fine. But we knew that was going to be rough. We knew that some of the adult exclusive spaces were smaller than on the other ships in the fleet. And so again, there were things that we knew going in that we weren't going to love. There were some things on board that we did not love. And some people mentioned, and I think we would agree with this, it felt like the Treasure was missing some of the other highlights from the older ships in the fleet. People mentioned mini golf,
the arcade games in the kids clubs.
Yes. I missed towel folding and napkin folding because those are typically on the weeknight sailings, or not weeknight, week-long sailings. So the basic stuff to do during the day was swim, crafts, trivia, drawing, and then the video game that you play through your phone.
Yes.
That's new to the Wish and Treasure.
Yeah.
Because that was, for us, we would get up in the morning because there would be something like exclusive Haunted Mansion parlor photos that we wanted to do. So we would get up and would clean up, and then we would say, okay, now what do we want to do? Because we're already cleaned up, so we can't we don't want to go to the pool and get all like messy and then have to clean up again later. So that left us with a more limited supply of things to do. In the same vein, some of the family crafts were in what would typically be adult exclusive spaces.
Yeah.
The only spaces that seemed to be all adults all the time were the pub and Triton's Lounge.
But the pub on our sailing only had like
sports.
Watch the games. No trivias were in there at all.
Right. It was lots of sports.
So that wasn't utilized too well. And then Triton's Lounge
is incredibly small.
Tiny.
We did one trivia in there, and it was so tight in there. We did not go to the DVC catch-up thing. I can't remember the name of it. But we didn't go to a DVC event because there was a line out the door 15 minutes before.
Yeah.
So we just knew there was no way. But it was hard, and I feel like the situation was also just bad because there would be like coloring time in Skipper Society. And then right after that ended is trivia. So there's all these kids in the bar area, which totally fine during the day, you know. But some of the bartenders were visibly frustrated because when people would sit down, they'd come up and ask if you need anything, etc., etc. And a lot of the time the answer was, no, I'm just here to
do this activity.
Do the activities. And at one point we did a trivia and a bartender came up to us and asked if we needed anything. And we said, we're here for trivia. And she went and walked away.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know that I can blame her because we were taking up seats for somebody who could have bought a drink and she could have gotten a tip from that person.
Yeah.
So we were taking up space that could have helped her make money. I don't know that her reaction was the best, but so then it was like this weird discomfort sometimes when we were doing trivias. It was specifically in Skipper Society.
Yes, just because that one is always bustling. It's always kind of overflowing with people. People are doing trivia while sitting in the.
And it was I think it was a
too.
safety hazard. There were people for the popular trivias just sitting like backs against the wall, legs straight out in front of them. And I remember one point where an older woman was trying to like navigate around and over people's legs. And I was just going.
The layout's questionable. The planning is questionable for some of that kind of stuff.
What I think the problem is there wasn't enough for adults during the day other than what we listed. So tons of people were doing trivia. The music trivia, one of them they straight up did in the lobby, the atrium, because they knew there was just going to be too many people.
Which there were. There were a lot of people that were gathering around, so.
But then a lot of people were upset because it was just basically a glorified sing-along and no medals were given out.
Yeah.
So then it was like, it's not a real trivia, which at least it held everybody.
True.
So basically, and I guess Scat Cat was adult exclusive, but that's where almost all of the tastings were, if not all of them. So Scat Cat was not open hardly, except in the evenings.
Right.
But I think we would have liked a bit more entertainment and options in larger spaces. So Robbie was used a lot for kids' crafts.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been better to bend the rules on Triton Lounge and put the smaller groups doing crafts in the smaller space and have the larger activities, or the activities that draw a larger crowd, in the larger space.
Yeah.
But even then, a lot of the times even Sarabi wasn't big enough. Because that was what we ran into for Choose Wisely, the Indiana Jones adventure with Sage and Coriander. Late one night. We were standing against the wall in the back.
Right.
That was another time when we had bartenders who were not happy that we didn't want to buy anything. But
that one to a little less extent.
Yes.
That one was more unhappy because we were in the way, but we were also standing where the cast member told us to stand.
Yeah, they told us to stay there, but we were asked multiple times if we wanted anything, and it was just kind of, Yeah. It's like, we just want to try to see the show. But in the late dinner, we got there as early as we could, and it was just a fight to find any seating. But, so I think Choose Wisely needs to be done another night.
Mm-hmm.
But shifting into that vein, Sage and Coriander are powerhouse workhorses. They were all over the ship.
They were
all
highlights.
The time. And they were definitely a highlight of our sailing. They were working from early mornings because there were times that we were just going, I don't know what we're going to do. And then we would check the app and see, Sage and Coriander are going to do an Aladdin retelling. So we'll go watch that. The least favorite bit from Sage and Coriander that we saw was the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, that one, it looked like fun if you were in the boat.
If you were actively participating.
Watching from the side is kind of rather boring to watch.
The DVC event ran long, so we came when things had already started slightly.
Right.
So we missed out on that. But other than that, I think we pretty much
caught everything else.
And very much enjoyed everything else that Sage and Coriander were doing. So entertainment, overall, as far as like entertainment, I think is incredibly strong on this ship. I think Sage and Coriander are great. We loved Victrophonics on this ship. We caught more of their sets. And it was fun to see the 2 sets instead of just one set of songs. Vocals were great in Victrophonics. And then we also, of course, the Broadway style shows. We said that Beauty and the Beast was the favorite. But again, Seize the Adventure and Moana were both very fun. And the audiences were just so into it. Another highlight for us was The Magician. We saw his adult exclusive show later in the sailing and enjoyed it quite a bit. So the entertainment with a capital E, 2 thumbs up. The entertainment lowercase, things like trivia, which of course we still really enjoyed trivia, but things like I guess more like activities. Entertainment that's more activity based was not the favorite. We talked about potentially trying to hit up a drawing class, but now they're based off of video recordings instead of a cast member leading you through drawing the character, at least on the newer ships. Right. So for us, it's kind of like, do we want to spend 30 minutes or an hour following along with a video when we could do something like that at home? Yeah. If we wanted to, you know what I'm trying to say. But again, entertainment with a capital E was great. And again, the pirate show was fun. We got a great spot for it. And everything on deck. Color Spin.
Color Spin was phenomenal.
Favorite.
Love Color Spin.
Sail Away, great. And again, kind of to close things out, the Till We Meet Again goodbye show in the lobby.
That was very cool. And that was, again, led by Sage and Coriander.
Yeah. This sailing in particular on the Treasure, Sage and Coriander, the 2 characters who start the party and end the party, are kind of leading you through this storytelling adventure, which is a really cool concept. They did a great job. I hope that they are having fun because they're making people happy.
Till We Meet Again was fantastic because it picked on things from throughout the whole week, different things you would have seen, whether it's stuff that was from them, whether it was like you went to the Cocoa dinner and saw this show because you saw Beauty and the Beast and you saw Moana. So really just kind of taking pieces from everything throughout the whole sailing.
So if you if you followed along with them, it was a treasure trove of just fun. Oh, this was cool. All the memories just pop in your brain. If you didn't follow along with them, it was very nice. And at the end, when they had the treasure box moment, I was like, yay! Yeah. So I hope they get lots of claps and good attention. Yeah. Because they deserve it.
Switching gears to another positives that we liked, the food. So specifically the Cocoa restaurant was fantastic.
There were a couple misses.
On the dish-wise.
Namely Salsa Night 1 and Snapper Night 1. Yeah. Other than that...
all of Night 2 food was excellent.
I was going to say, I think other than that, we really liked everything we had. Yeah.
The show was phenomenal both nights.
Lots of fun. It was... and it just was really just, okay, we're eating now, we're doing this. And they just led you through the night. Yeah. Which was very nice and very fun. And it's... I don't know. It's up there with Tangled for me as the favorite.
By far better than Frozen.
Yeah.
Both show aspect and the food aspect.
And I think that, I know we got lucky with our seat location in the Cocoa restaurant and have not gotten lucky in the Frozen restaurant in Arendelles. But I think the theming throughout the restaurant itself is beautiful. It is just beautiful. So the Frozen restaurant, it's more cute. And it's still beautiful, but the Cocoa restaurant just blew us away. Yeah. And Marvel. We had a better time this time in the Marvel restaurant. Yeah. Worlds of Marvel.
The food was fantastic in there. The night 2 menu was great. I thought I really enjoyed my salmon night 2.
We didn't really know what to expect with the second show in the Marvel restaurant, but it was just a really nice way to end the sailing too, because that was our last night. Good music. That was kind of the goodbye to the service team with their little celebration parade. So a lot of fun. The weakest one, I think, on the sailing was probably 1923.
It was, because 2 reasons. The filet night 1 was not as good as it is in the Wish. I don't know what's different. It's still fine, but the Wish filet is significantly better. And then the night 2 menu was just weird.
It was all over the place. But we still were full and fed and had plenty good things to eat. I also think that the Pirate Night menu, which we had in the Marvel restaurant, was probably the best pirate themed food that we've had.
Except for dessert.
Except for dessert. The dessert that we're obsessed with, the caramel macadamia nut cheesecake tart, was the worst that we have had it, which was disappointing because I love that thing.
Right. But apart from that, food was the best pirate food we've ever had.
Right. But our service team was great.
Yeah.
So shout out to our folks who took care of us. We're so lucky every time we're on Disney Cruise Line to have such wonderful, wonderful cast members. Across the board, with a couple exceptions, people were exceptional,
yes.
Our cast members that we interacted with.
I would even do a special shout out for the photo.
Yes, the photographers. We're sailing enough nowadays that we're starting to recognize the photo team,
because there were
crazy.
2 on this sailing that were on our same dream sailing in Europe
a year prior.
So it was like, did you happen to be in Europe last May?
Summer? Like, yes. And it was very evident that they're not used to getting
recognized at all.
Recognized.
So they were really, really fun to talk to. We were talking to a couple of them kind of after, like, as they were finishing up their set.
We needed to let them go take
yes.
a break and eat dinner.
But they also, speaking of photo, had some cool photo sessions on the sailing with the Marvel restaurant photos, giving you props and everything. That was really fun. And then, like you mentioned earlier, the Haunted Mansion parlor photos.
Exclusive photo moment. And we got lucky. We were the last ones in line. I again think one of the photographers recognized us and basically said, we're getting ready to close the line, and then saw us at the back and was like, you guys can be last, pretty much. And then it was just, okay, you guys come inside and we're done. Yeah. But since we were last, we got to see
a completely
empty, with the effects turned off, Haunted Mansion parlor. So it was very cool to just see the artwork that went into this ship. Because again, it's beautiful. It is the most, or if not one of the most beautiful ships in the Disney Cruise Line fleet.
Definitely.
There's so much attention to detail. It's, when we went on the Wish the first time, there were some things that didn't seem quite ready. This was not at all the case. Everything was right and done and perfect, etc., etc., etc. The thing that was weirdest, as far as aesthetics go, was the diffuser situation.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you've sailed with Disney Cruise Line before, you know they have an exclusive scent that they kind of pump through the boat.
Yeah.
And a lot of people love it. On the Treasure specifically, the diffusers are out and visible, and they are scattered throughout the atrium on levels 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah. And are at full speed.
Pumping it. Because there were, as the cruise wore on, there were times that we had to stay out of the lobby because the scent was too strong and like kind of headache inducing.
Making us cough, giving us headaches, just kind of, yeah.
And that was hard because a lot of the character meet and greets were next to or a few feet from these diffusers. So there were times that we were like, we just can't go meet so-and-so because we don't want to be around the diffuser right now. But as long as we stayed out of the lobby sometimes, then we were okay. But that was difficult because a lot of the programming through the day, especially on the sea days, is in that area.
True.
So if you have kind of a sensitivity to smells, be aware of that. And I don't know, no one in vlogs we've watched have mentioned having problems with it. I don't know if they were pumping it in extra strong because I kept smelling dirty diaper.
Yeah, there were a lot of
and
weird
diffuser.
smells.
So I don't know. That's the only time we've encountered it. Like an actively bad smell often, and then a crazy strong perfumey smell.
Yeah.
But moving into the character meet and greets, lots of fun meeting the characters. We got to see Minnie in her new exclusive Explorer outfit, which was very fun. I wish that she had been out in it a little more.
I think she was out in it 2 days.
Yes. But the characters, with the exception of Goofy, when he was meeting with Max, did not wear their regular outfits.
Right.
They were in
regular as in non-cruise.
Right. The like Minnie and the polka dots and Mickey and his usual little pants and everything. They, through the cruise, it was sailor, formal night was formal night, pirate was pirate, and then Minnie had her special outfit for 2 days. That was it. Because on 7-night sailings in the past, for like other times we'd seen Daisy and Minnie in princess dresses randomly. And I know Europe is its own thing. Mm-hmm. The European sailing we did, it was lots of fun exclusive outfits. But when we were on the Magic in the past, even Goofy and Minnie had special, and Chip and Dale. We saw them in different outfits throughout the cruise. So it was just, we got to the point too, once the scents were bothering us, that it was just...
Well, we've seen that character, so we could skip this one.
And they're in the same outfit. We've seen this character, they're in the same outfit. And Castaway was a problem for meet and greets.
Castaway was a fairly big negative on the character aspect because...
The characters we met were super fun.
Yes.
The character attendants were incredible.
Yes.
Shout out to Anthony in particular.
Was amazing.
Anthony was one of the cast members who just made our whole sailing.
Yes.
And he has a special name tag, and boy howdy, he deserves it. He's incredible. So if you're on the Treasure or anywhere and you see Anthony, get to know Anthony.
Yes,
he is so fun.
He's fluent in 4 languages.
Yes.
And speaks 9
a little bit.
So
even if you don't speak English, try to talk to Anthony.
Yeah.
But because we got to the island so late with our itinerary, the characters were only out doing meet and greets 1 time each. So we hadn't seen them in their new Castaway outfits, and because they had been in the Sailor constantly, we were like, okay, we want to see some of the new outfits, and you had a one shot, basically. Because there was a duo in front of us, a father-son duo, I think, who... The son was our age or maybe a little older, and the son was running. The son was doing all the pictures, and Dad was waiting in line to make sure the son got to see all the characters that he wanted to see. So that was, I know everything needs to be safe for the performers. It was very hot. Mm-hmm. And I think it was a result of us not clearing to the island until like 10 a.m. was when we were scheduled. But that was a slight disappointment.
Right. And then once back on board, they were back in their sailor outfits. So you couldn't even see them in their Castaway outfits on board. So
we've only had that happen once.
Right.
That was the honeymoon when it was raining, and we saw Chip and Dale when we were still in our swimsuits.
Yes.
But talking about the itinerary, this was our first time doing Eastern Caribbean, and I don't think we'd do it again.
Yeah, Tortola was fairly boring. I know we didn't really explore Tortola. We didn't do an excursion in Tortola. We just kind of wandered the town. And it was a lot of shops. Felt like Cozumel.
almost all of the excursions offered in Tortola involved paying for a beach transfer.
Yeah.
And since we were going to Castaway a couple days later, we had a hard time justifying the cost. So we said, oh, we'll just walk around. But half of the shops in the port area weren't open.
Yeah.
So it didn't take us very long to explore the port area based on that. And I know some people explored farther than we did. I know some people went later than we did and got to see more. But it felt like we basically had 4 sea days because, and some of that was a choice issue for us. If we had done a beach day in Tortola and just gone somewhere and done something, maybe, I'm sure it would have been more exciting. I mean, that's
True.
just, but I think we preferred the Western Caribbean itinerary because there were more exciting port adventures offered.
Yes.
To our taste that weren't just, okay, pay to go to a beach.
And even if you didn't do a port adventure, I feel like Falmouth's port area was a lot nicer than Tortola's port area.
Falmouth's port area was very pretty. Grand Cayman's seemed less organized, but felt safe. Cozumel, we've walked around there several times, and there's plenty to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like we didn't pick the best itinerary. We wanted to try Eastern Caribbean, and if you are a swimmy family who loves to just swim all the time, I think Eastern Caribbean would be great.
Yeah.
To have an extra sea day that you could just spend all day at the pool, and then basically you could do 3 beach days.
True.
But for us, we did our 1 snorkel day and our beach day at Castaway Cay, and that was plenty for us.
Yeah. So St. Thomas, our excursion was the Caribbean Sea Safari, snorkeling and beach adventure. And it was $74 a person. So one of the cheaper, or per adult, I should say. So one of the cheaper offerings, and probably the cheapest excursion we've ever done through Disney Cruise Line. And I think it was well worth it.
I think there were some first-time snorkelers.
It was hard.
It was hard. I don't think I would recommend this for first-time snorkelers.
No, the current was a lot.
We also, one of the crew members was a little sassy, and the person driving the boat was typically a sailboat captain. And so he was driving directly into the waves, directly into the wind and everything. So it was crazy. We got lucky that we sat in on the side of the boat that we did. Because if we had been on the other side of the boat, we would have just been completely drenched. And
before getting to the snorkel, because we were still getting wet.
It was splashing across the entire boat to the back corner. Because we were in the very back corner.
Our bag was soaked. Our towels were soaked.
There wasn't much being dry.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we're here to swim and stuff, so fine. But if you've got somebody who, and we took our Dramamine and everything, intense seasickness, no. Not a strong swimmer or have never snorkeled before, don't do this one. But if you feel comfortable dealing with a rocky boat and snorkeling, yes.
Especially for the chance to see a sea turtle, which was so cool.
Yes.
To be able to see that out in the
wild
and whatnot. And then it was nice just to go to the beach afterwards and just kind of chill.
There wasn't a lot to do.
No.
Because the chairs were not
theirs.
So it was basically you could sit on the beach, you could swim, you could hang out.
Or you could just go back to the boat and drink rum punch.
Yes. So, and the rum punch was freely flowing, and they just kept filling people's glasses.
Yeah.
But the crew were very nice, very knowledgeable. One was studying conservation biology.
And she lit up when you started talking about coral and asked her questions about that.
So she was really fun with the kids, so I don't know that you would get her as a crew member, but there are educational opportunities on board.
Yeah.
we learned that coral is like
A beehive.
a beehive. So, very fun. Again, would recommend it with those thoughts in mind.
True.
So, overall, mostly loved it.
Yeah.
I know we've talked a lot about things that we didn't like. But again, there was so much that we really did love.
Yeah. Loved all of the bar experiences that we had for the bar aspect. Haunted Mansion Parlor was fun. The drinks were good there. We've heard some negative stuff on different videos we've watched about the drinks not being so great. We liked ours.
We liked what we had. I can see how things could be very sweet, though, because that was the main complaint that people had.
True. Skipper Society, those drinks were very good. The waffle was surprisingly fantastic, especially just being a garnish, too. But then I think my favorite bar that we went to was Sky Cat.
And we went there the last evening.
Yeah. It was just nice, relaxing vibes. It was a good value for what we got as the teapot that served two. Nice that you got like little snacks with it and a little Turkish Delight.
I was like, it's the Narnia thing.
Yeah. So that was fun as well. And yeah, really enjoyed that aspect. Like you said, the entertainment was great and loved our room being up-themed.
Yes. There's a lot to love about the Treasure.
Yeah.
I think if you have not sailed on one of the older ships in the fleet, I think if you have sailed on the older ships in the fleet, you're going to be blown away.
Yeah.
The attention to detail is crazy. I do think, though, that for the lowercase e entertainment activities offered, the ease of getting around, I feel like I prefer the smaller and older ships in the fleet.
Yeah.
And we've sailed now, today, on all of the current ships available except for the Wonder.
Yeah.
So those are our thoughts on the ships in particular. But if you have kiddos or not kiddos and yourself, and you're really into some of the IPs on the Treasure, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
I think the Haunted Mansion Parlor blows the Star Wars bar out of the water.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just to the point where they already are bringing it back for the Destiny.
I don't think it makes sense.
Does not make sense in the Destiny.
The heroes and villains themed boat.
No,
but
not so much. Star Wars makes sense in that one.
Yeah. But again, there's a lot to love. And again, I've said it before 100 times. The people made this super special for us.
Yes.
So thanks again to the people we met on board, the cast members, our fellow travelers, and we had a really nice time, and we can't wait for the next cruise.
Yes, coming up very soon.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that announcement. But
we've rambled long enough.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to us ramble.
Yeah, so that will do it for us for today. Overall, had a great trip. Can't wait for our next one.
Would you go on the Treasure again?
I would go again.
Western Caribbean.
Just to see if that would play a role in it.
One less sea day, maybe getting to Castaway a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I think that would have been great.
Yeah. So, yes, because the ship is very beautiful.
So we do recommend sailing on the Treasure.
Yeah, for sure. Wouldn't be my first choice, but I would do it again, basically. But that will do it for us today. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you real soon.